Hello everyone, and welcome to Discount Benefit Solutions webinar on how to properly conduct a sales follow-up. An appropriate follow-up will build upon your first interaction with a customer. Any interactions that you have after that first meeting is considered a follow-up. Now, follow-ups are important for both customers that you successfully closed with and those who you did not successfully close with upon that first interaction. Perhaps the customer just needed a little bit of time to think about it or wanted to do a little bit more research. There are several reasons that you might need to follow up with somebody who you didn't close with. If possible, set a follow-up meeting during your first encounter. Determine how the customer prefers to communicate, whether that's via an email or a phone call or text, and be sure to take note of that and set a time if possible. Make follow-ups as much about the customer as possible. Try not to talk too much about yourself. Focus on the customer and, of course, your FreeRxPlus business and how it can help them. Now, with follow-ups, it's very important to take care to not annoy your customer. For those that you have successfully closed with previously, one follow-up is usually fine, just to make sure that everything is going okay and that the customer doesn't have any immediate questions. After that first follow-up, just make sure that that customer has your contact information so they can get back in touch with you if they ever need to do so in the future. Now, for those that you haven't successfully closed with in the past, try to limit follow-ups to once a week and to a max of 2 to 3 times total. If the customer hasn't gotten back with you at that point or doesn't seem interested in your business, there's no need to keep harassing them or emailing them. If they determine that they do want to take part with your business or reach out for more information, they'll definitely have those previous communications to be able to do so and to reach you successfully. Stop communication immediately if they ask you to do so. Some customers just aren't going to be interested for whatever reason, and that's fine. Don't take offense to it and let them know that you're not going to reach out to them anymore. Now, there are several different ways that you can go about doing a follow-up, but some of the most positive and some of the most popular are going to be through emails or letters or through a phone call. Now, upon that first communication, once again, determine how they best like to communicate. If they'd like to be reached via an email or a letter, there are different things that you need to keep in mind when you're reaching out to them that way. First of all, in your email or letter, be sure to state your objective, such as, I'm just reaching back out to see if there's anything I can answer, any questions I can answer rather, or I'm just reaching back out to see if I can help you perform a price search, something along those lines. You can try general openings such as just following up, I just wanted to check in, or just reaching out to see if. Be sure to keep emails short, but highlight the main points. If a customer seemed particularly interested in one facet of your business, gently mention it again in your communication and or ask if there's anything that you can clarify or go over about that again. Be sure to personalize each communication. Know your customer or your potential customer's name and use it. A little bit of personalization goes a long way. If you spoke about something in particular during your first interaction, gently mention it, as long as it's not something that's incredibly private that you wouldn't want any other eyes to see. Always be sure to include a copy of your card. Also include all of your contact information, your website links, and so on. For emails, be sure to use a catchy subject line, something that's not either going to get caught by the spam filter or something that's going to stick out to the customer and make them want to open that email. Be sure to keep it business appropriate, of course. In your closing in an email or a letter, go ahead and ask for the next steps. You can do that by asking, what can I do to help? What can I do to get the FreeRxPlus card in your hands so you can save? Is there anything I can help with to get you on your way to saving on your prescriptions? A soft closing asking for next steps will let the customer know you care and make it more of a possibility for them to get back with you than something that is very direct in a closing. The customer wants to feel in control, and by you asking them questions, that opens up the door for further and continued communication. Now, for phone calls, you're going to want to keep up with a lot of the same rules as you would do in either a letter or an email. For example, always address that customer by name. Make it as personal as possible. Bring up past conversations or things that you might have talked about during your first or second interaction. Once again, ask if there are any questions. Let them know that you are there to help. If they don't have any questions right then, quickly let them know that they can reach you at any time with any questions that might come up. Just like an email or a letter, you also want to keep a phone call brief. People are often very busy and don't have time to have a long phone conversation. By keeping your follow-up call very brief and accomplishing or going over everything you need to in that phone call makes it much more time conscious for both you and your customer. If you reach voicemail, go ahead and send a short email letting the customer know and reiterate your best contact information. Of course, it wouldn't be appropriate to send a physical letter if you reach their voicemail. And if you don't have their email address, there's not much more you can do after you've left them that voicemail. Use the internet and the tools at your disposal in your e-business suite to go over different templates for letters and emails or phone call follow-up scripts that you can use. Thank you for joining us today as we discussed how to appropriately follow up in sales. Be sure to visit our website at www.freerxplus.com for further details on how you and those you know can receive savings.